Good evening. Today we are going to analyze the two divisions of the Written Star Grade 2 to be contested at Fairgrounds on Saturday. Both races are over a mile and 1/8 mile. Okay, let's start with the first division. I want to start to talk about Enforceable. Enforceable is the Lecomte Stakes winner. This horse won this race coming from behind. Visually, he looked very good, but I don't know this race. If you watch this race, maybe with a different pace, the, the winner could be another. I think Enforceable is a good horse, but he really needs a very hot pace and to win the race. I'm not using Enforceable this time because I think it's a horse that really needs pace to win.
Well, don't you think he might get paced though with Shasha Shake Me Up and Ready to Roll, and maybe even Blackberry Wine might get tangled up?
Probably, but I think this race, well, so you talk about Blackberry Wine, and I really think Blackberry Wine will be the winner of this race. The distance, it doesn't matter. If you watch his last race, was over 1 mile and 1/16, but it seemed like the horse, okay, the horse on the stretch, digital, passed him. But the horse re-rallied and came back and to win the race. I think the distance would not be an issue. You see, the horse re-rallied and it seems that he wants more distance.
He ran faster than Enforceable in the Lecomte at the same distance on the same card, so that's a very good sign. My only concern is, do you think he can settle in second or third and still make the same kind of late kick in the stretch?
I think he can sit on second place. I don't know third. The horse has really early speed, and in 9 furlongs, I think he's going to be the pace setter.
I hope the pace is not too fast because Blackberry Wine is my top choice too. Because he has a top
Yes,
speed figure on Timeform US and he has the faster time.
I see him really running on the lead this time. I don't know, maybe ready to roll now. Or Mr. Monoway is not faster than him. My second choice is a horse who tends to break slow. Uh, he is Silver State. I think this is a talented horse, a very talented horse, but he really needs a clean break. Running from post two, so he breaks low, he would be really likely eliminated at the start.
Right, I agree with you. I think if the field comes in, he might get stuck in a pocket or even worse, he could be shuffled back to mid pack.
Last week, Independence Hall raced very clean. See if it happens again with Silver State.
I wasn't happy with Silver State's ride in the Lecomte. He was too patient to wait on the inside when he should have just tipped out, and he let Enforceable get the jump on him on the outside, and I think that's what cost him the race.
I agree with you. So that's because I watched Telecom and I'm not sure if Enforceable was the better horse of the race. My third choice is a horse that maybe is a bit of forgotten horse. Is Scabbard. In last race he was fifth, seventh place back to Enforceable. This race, I don't know, the horse was a bit stuck on the inside, and maybe I think that is a kind of excuse for that race. I think okay, he's going to gift a lot some ground on the first term, but this time he's going to avoid a lot of traffic. I think this horse, I think he deserves another shot.
I can't trust him again. In this case, I think he's too wide. I mean, come on, where is he? Post 11, post 12? I think that's too wide. He's not a front runner, so he doesn't have the speed to clear the inside. I think he's a mid pack runner, and he's just going to get stuck going 5, 6 wide.
I really like Rosario with horses stopping the pace, running from the middle of the pack.
Okay, I'll admit this. Corey Lannery tends to get in trouble a lot. He keeps his horses on the inside, and sometimes that gets him in trouble. And maybe Scabbard did experience some traffic. Let's talk about Moon over Miami really quick before we end the first part. I thought he ran really well at Aqueduct. He beat Farmington Road by 5 lengths in a maiden race, and then he went to Gulfstream and competed in an allowance optional claimer. And I thought he just went too wide on the first turn. He was 6 wide on the first turn, and I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and give him one more chance for William Mott. Do you have any thoughts on Moon over Miami?
No, I think this horse never was a threat against New York Traffic. New York Traffic is running in the second division. I think I don't know, he's not still a great state horse. Maybe Mr. Monoway is going to take some money again because his pedigree, probably. And also he ran okay in the account. So in conclusion, okay, I'm really high on Blackberry Wine. The horse has a lot of talent. I don't know if it's going to rain. I don't watch the forecast. Do you have the forecast for Saturday?
When I read, it was light showers. That could change, but right now I just read it was showers.
Okay, that is perfect for Blackberry Wine.
Oh yeah, if it's a wet track, he's almost a lock.
Yes, if the horse is if the race is over a wet track, I think the horse is going to run extremely well. Yes, my second choice is Silver State, mainly because he breaks slow. And Scabbard, okay, it's my third choice. Maybe people would not like the horse now, but I'm giving him one more shot, and now I think Rosario is a plus.
Okay, Blackberry Wine is my top choice, but I'm also going to use Enforceable and Moon over Miami, and I'm not sure about Silver State. I'm still
Okay,
thinking.
this second division on paper looks a bit weaker than the first division. Well, in this race, I'm going with a boring pick. I'm going with the favorite, Anglo the Or. And the Or, okay, is a winner on turf and he has two defeats on dirt, but he just lost by a head in the Briscoe Juvenile and by a neck in the Los Alamitos Futurity. Now he's wearing blinkers, and I think this is the horse to beat on this race, even though it will be really heavily bet. What do you think about him?
I just don't like the way he looked visually. I know his speed figures were okay, but in the Rear Scale Juvenile and in the Los Alamitos Futurity, he was ridden very hard. He got whipped a lot of times, and he still couldn't pass the winner in both instances. And Storm the Court didn't run so well last weekend. I know you said he's a router and he needed a race, but I just don't trust I know the or.
He's switching from Hernandez to Rosario. And one thing I like about him is that the plan was to run on El Camino Real, is their first plan. Now they changed to run a really dirt race. They trust the horse.
I'm going to use him, but I'm also going to use Mailman Money, who broke his maiden on this course. And no, he broke his maiden at Churchill, sorry. And he beat a good
Mhm.
horse in Digital. And then he went to Fairgrounds and won by 5 lengths. I don't know who he beat in that race, but Digital's a good horse. He barely lost to Blackberry Wine. It's pretty good. My only complaint about Mailman Money is that he's a bit sloppy with the lead switches in the stretch, but I think you could step up. How do you feel about him?
Yes, Mailman Money is my second choice. Even so, his draw is the far outside. No, it's not the far outside. It's likely the far outside. The post 12. The horse. I watched both replays, and he really looked very well on his last race. The horse stuck the pace. It's a horse that doesn't need the lead. That is very useful in these races. I don't know. This horse reminds me Mr. Money. I don't know why, but I watched his replays and reminds me Mr. Money. The distance I think would not be an issue. I think 9 furlongs would be okay for him.
It's a minor concern. Golden Sense on top, and
Yeah.
there's some sprint names on the bottom like Forestry, but or Well Unbridled Song is a damn sire. But I think 9 furlongs will be okay. Let's talk about Major Fed really quick. Major Fed broke his maiden on this course by 4 1/4 lengths, and he was also third in the Churchill maiden race, but I can cross it out because it was a sprint race. I watched the fairgrounds race, and he looked really professional in the stretch. He switched leads nicely. He drew clear with a lot of power. I like him. How do you feel?
Okay, we are kind of agreeing on this race. Mayor Fred is my third choice. The horse, okay, is moving up in class, but the horse improved on when he rode. So the distance would be perfect for him. Maybe he needs to improve some length to win this race, but this is a horse that is likely race, so there is a lot of room to improve.
Oh, what does his breeze speed rating look like?
Okay, the greatness 87. On his debut, it was 777, and his race at fairgrounds was 87. So
Okay,
he
so he's
need,
moving up.
yes, but he need to improve more. But like I said, he's likely race, so there is a lot of room to improve.
Right, he should be somewhere in mid pack, and hopefully there's some pace for him to run into. I think he could win if the favorite doesn't win.
There's a horse that I think will take some money, and it's Lion's Lucky Charm, mainly because his Pasco win was really impressive, over 7 furlongs, but his only race over 2 turns, he faded. Okay, he was over a very good horse against Chance It. Do you think this horse really has distant limitations?
He might. I know it's Kozan on top, and Kozan is related to Royal Delta, but notice on the bottom, Stormy Atlantic is the dam sire, and I haven't searched through his dam line, but I'm gonna guess that his bottom side is probably filled with sprinters and milers.
Yes, I really feel that when you watch his PPs, the only race he ran, he was a bit distant was the only race over 2 turns. So that is not a good sign.
I can't use him.
Another horse I like, well, I don't like another horse. There's a horse that, okay, some people is talking about it, and it is Modernist. Modernist, okay, won by 4 lengths when he broke his maiden as the heavy favorite at Aqueduct. He's a winner over the distance, over 9 furlongs, but there was a really slow pace. So I think this time he would face a faster tempo.
Yeah, I think his true running style is a mid pack horse, so I think he could be fourth or fifth. I don't see him fighting for the lead. Modernist has a very interesting pedigree. His damn symbolic gesture is a half sister to Life is Sweet. I don't know if you remember that filly, but Life is Sweet won the 2009 Breeders' Cup Distaff, or back then it was called the Ladies Classic. And So I think the longer the better for him. Obviously, he already won at 9 furlongs. I'm just not sure if Modernist is fast enough.
Okay, yes, I just see him running, okay, in the middle of the pack. I don't see him running on in front in this race. And the post position one, I don't know if it is really good for him. Well, I don't trust these horses that came from Aqueduct, that come from Aqueduct. Do you want to talk about another horse? No, maybe New York Traffic. New York Traffic.
He's drawn too
Okay,
wide. I mean, what is that? Post
exactly.
12?
Exactly. He's in the far outside, post 12. But I think the horse is going to be sent. There is no option for him. Just try to be sent.
I don't know about Safi Joseph Jr. outside of Gulfstream. At Gulfstream, he's a wizard. But at Fairgrounds, is he going to be the same? I don't know about that.
No, this is a horse that I think needs the lead to win. And okay, the far outside boss, okay, going to hurt him because he would need to really start very fast. And that effort that effort would be really tough for him. I want to use Anglo the Or, the logical choice. My second choice is Mailman Money, and my third choice is Mayor Fett.
Okay.
We didn't talk about Finish the Fierce. He's a one-eyed horse, if I remember.
Oh, yeah.
What are
It,
your conclusions of this race?
Mailman Money is my first choice, but you have to use I know the or, and Major Fed would be my third. Major Fed is my third choice. Okay, that's today's show. Thanks for watching the Sigi Reinier show. Be sure to donate to one of us. Doesn't matter which one.
Okay,
And we'll see you next week.
see you next week.